So going up to the race, and probably for most of the training period, because you got to think, these extreme athletes are exercising most days of the week. You're going to want to keep your carb intake pretty high, and that's about 50 to 60% carbohydrates. Pasta, you want to have sandwiches. Bread is actually good for the athletes. These are the things that are going to convert really quickly from fuel into your body into that energy that drives you down the road on that race. The rest of it can be made up of protein and fat. And if you're going to skimp on any of them, you want to skimp on the fat, because the protein, as we're going to talk about, gets a little bit important in recovery if you're going to repair your body after each workout.
Okay, so that's the lead up to the event, so weeks before. But what about the 2 days before, the night before? Is there anything special to be doing?
Just eat a carb-rich meal, and you don't want to change your diet at that point. Like the last thing you want to do is say, hey, you know what, I think I'll try sushi. If your body's not used to it, you don't want to change anything and risk that your GI tract isn't going to do well with it. Every year, we see somebody actually die during a marathon or a triathlon, and sometimes that's because of electrolyte imbalance. Your sweat is made up of water, salt, a little bit of calcium and potassium. And so it's really best to replace all of that with something like a sports drink.
Okay.
And if it's on a hot day, and you're really losing a lot of sweat, you want to rehydrate with about 8 ounces of sports drink for every 15 to 20 minutes of exercise. And for a really good athlete who's doing this all the time, they should be weighing themselves before and after a practice so that they're replacing the amount that they've lost. Nutrition actually can help push the wall a little farther away. And anybody who's exercising for more than 90 minutes is going to need some carbohydrates. And this is where your gels, your energy bars, your goos come in. So, a marathoner, in our classic marathon training now, we're telling people go for 1 long run a week.
Okay.
And so maybe your Saturday is your 20-mile day. That's the day that you should be practicing with your goos and your energy bars and finding the right product that really works with your digestion and helps you get the energy to keep going. Number one, we talked about hydration already from the sense of don't get dehydrated. But one of those cliffs is controlling those electrolyte imbalances. It's very, very important that we are hydrating with those energy drinks. And even for an extreme athlete, sweat varies in content. So some people are really high in sodium in their sweat, and some people are lower.
Okay.
And so they're actually sweat tests where you can send your sweat to a laboratory and test how much you're losing and make sure that you are giving yourself back the same amount.
Now, I did look at some research that showed with marathoners that years ago, the introduction of hydration and sports drinks, that's when we started seeing more competitive runners getting into trouble with getting too hydrated.
Right.
And this is, do you think that more runners do know about that?
I think it's a message that we still have to get out there.
Okay.
Because it's no amount of deaths is okay.
Right.
We have to protect our athletes, and knowing your fluid balance is not that hard if you start to think about, I'm going to weigh myself before and after and see just how much I lost during that workout.